Good morning.
Morning. How are you?
I'm doing great. How are you doing, Mwamba?
I can't complain. It's a stellar weekend. Looking forward to a lot of matches. Quite a number of big matches we're having this weekend, both locally and internationally. And I think the highlight of the weekend for me is the Chelsea versus Liverpool match today at 13:30.
Really?
Yes. I
I didn't know that Chelsea was playing. Or maybe because I'm on leave supporting my team.
Maybe because you're on leave, but I feel it's one of those matches where, as if Liverpool win, they sort of cement their place in the UEFA Champions League qualification next season. And if Chelsea lose, then they're not playing European football next season.
You know how they used to call such matches? Planga versus Planga.
Planga pa planga.
Planga pa planga, Mdala. So, football things, you just have to be awake to the reality when you are not doing great. Don't be like Manchester United who start telling you, do you remember Beckham? Do you know Rooney post scores? My friend, if currently you are not doing great, don't bring old stories.
They're in the Champions League next season, so maybe
that is what you should be talking about. We've made it to the Champions League, and oh boy, the way Manchester United celebrated the qualification to the UEFA.
Well, I hadn't done it in 2 years. It's quite understandable.
Things change, eh?
Yeah, things.
You are not celebrating qualification to UEFA.
It's something that we need to do because you need to celebrate progress at any time in the world of sport.
Landmark event happening in the country of Zambia when it comes to football. Today, the newly ushered in executive led by Keith Mwamba will be having their first AGM in Ndola today. And I just want to hear from you so far a summary how the first year has been for the current regime in terms of galvanizing Zambian football, everything else that is mandated to the association that can be done by the association. In summary, I know you can point a lot of things, but just summarize it as best as possible as you can.
I think the best summary is disaster. It's a one-word summary, and the reason why I say disaster is when they were coming into power, they did mention to say they want to make Zambian football great again. And since I've come into power, I think we've gone 5 years back, and they've only been around for a year. I could only imagine what would happen.
So don't you think you are a bit unfair calling it disaster?
No.
In their first year,
look,
they've got 4 years to go, and to them, they are thinking they've laid a great foundation which might yield results later.
Let's be honest. We were going into an Africa Cup of Nations where they fired a manager and brought in a manager to be, I do not know, a rubber stamp manager. And they got 200 managers. They had the biggest coaching staff at the tournament and were eliminated in the group stage. And
would you blame them for that?
Yes, because
they hit to the public cry.
No. In football and administration, you do not hit to the public cry. You are the people that understand the sports. You are the experts. So I do not expect you, because one or two guys on Facebook that's seated in their bed somewhere in Chiwolia says, I don't like this manager, and you say, okay, well, because person A or person Phiri or person Tembo says he's not happy with his ex-manager, then we need to get rid of the manager. I don't think that's how football works. And also, our participation in the youth cups has been terrible, to say the least. Well, apart from the female sides of things, the under-17 ladies, the male side of things, it's always a group stage elimination, whereas in the previous administration, we saw some of our teams qualify to the World Cup and actually even reach the World Cup quarterfinals. So I'm being honest with you. I feel it hasn't been a great year, and I'm a very non-partisan human being. I call a spade a spade. So hopefully in the remaining 3 years, they do something great and they make the ship turn around. I think they've concentrated more on their public image, their branding, getting random people that do not even really watch soccer and creating a committee and calling, what did they call that committee?
Ad hoc committee. I was actually coming to that because that is one of the things.
Apart from Lee,
that is one of the things which has been trending, making headlines this week.
Yes.
Others, they are celebrating to say those brains brought in to find financial solutions to the association and Zambian football in general. Those are big brains. You are talking about Muzingamelu, Lewis Mosho, these guys, Jito Kayumba, I don't know.
Great human beings, don't get me wrong, great human beings. These are people that even I, being seated in a room with them, would be very excited. But are they the right minds to actually talk about finances in soccer? I doubt they are. And why I say so is football is a different ball game altogether, and you need minds that actually understand the sport. You cannot get a fish and ask it to climb a tree
Mwamba,
and expect it to
hold on, just
well.
there. Just, I thought business is business.
No.
So
Business is business too.
there is the way you do business in
fine,
sports.
Yes, the fine margins in sports, because sports is very dynamic. You know, as a normal business layman, somebody that understands business from the onset, they'll look at Hero Stadium and say, well, this is a 60,000 seating capacity stadium. If we get people to pay 10 kwacha, we'll have 6 million by the end of the match. But you need to understand what match you're taking there. If you put in a Green Buffaloes versus Nkwazi match, you won't even get 5,000 tickets sold. And the minds we're bringing into Zambian football right now for the financial, what are they calling it? The financial Avengers? I do not know. I'll call them the financial Avengers. People that are here to resurrect Zambian football.
Financial breakthrough committee.
When I look at that committee, these are people that are great human beings for media, great human beings in the world of finance. Some are even CEOs of certain African banks, but they are not the right people to actually drive Zambian football forward. And I'm happy with what Muzingamelu is doing with the ABSA Cup, but they are not the right people.
Interesting. The ad hoc committee, which has been appointed by Faz Mwamba, is saying they are not the right people to oversee those affairs. Anyway, it's just a 2 years contract, 24 months, and obviously there will be sittings here and there. Fast forward, the AGM is on today, whether you like it or not, your expectations and maybe certain areas that you'd advise the association to concentrate on. But I know normally at these AGMs it's financial reviews, reports, and all that, especially the financial books and all that. That's what normally is debated on, and people get interested to know the figures, how the association has been spending and doing things so far. But going forward, what do you expect really that the association should concentrate on?
I feel this AGM should be a true moment of reflection from the association, and I feel it shouldn't be a place full of, political cadres. When I say political cadres, I mean these are people that support Keith and the team. I feel it should be a place where they actually sit down and see what they've done wrong. There's no harm in you going back to the drawing board, as we normally call it in the world of sport, and just recalibrating so as you come back as better people. There's nowhere they're going for the next 3 years. They're the people we have in power, and kudos to them. There are also things they've done right. I think we dwell too much on the things people have done wrong, and we forget the things people are actually doing right. And there's a few things they've done right. For instance, mending relationship with some of the old footballers, some of the legends in Zambia that were not even allowed to walk past the gate at Football House. Forget them entering the door at Football House. That's now been mended, and it's an inclusive administration, whereas people that were once opposition members in the world of sport are now part of the association. So we need to consider all those things and clap for all those things. But apart from that, they really need to have a deep reflection on how we're performing on the pitch, because at the end of the day, nobody sits down and looks at what relationships you've mended. People just look at, is the Zambian national team actually achieving what they need to achieve? And not only the national team, male's national team, but the female and all the youth level teams.
Interesting. Mwamba, let's turn our attention to the final. The final is on tomorrow. Due to some technicalities, you were unable to come on Monday. I'm sure you would have had more time to comment on Power Dynamo's success with 4 games to go. They are the league champions, but tomorrow they've got a very interesting assignment. They have to win a double, so to say.
Yes.
And in a very long time, Power Dynamos has broken the I don't know how I can call it, is they've broken the record of defending the Super League twice. They've done it. There are other teams who've done it, but Zesco was the last team to do it. Right now, Power Dynamos have successfully defended the Zambia Super League title, and possibly they can win a double this year.
Yes, kudos to Power Dynamos. Firstly, coming from a fan's perspective, I think it's a great job they've done by them actually winning the Super League twice. And nevertheless, we need to look at how Power Dynamos have done this. Not only are they winning the league, but they're actually showing stellar performances when they qualify for the CAF Champions League. And this is why I feel it was important for them to qualify for this season's Champions League, for the continuity. I feel the one thing we've lacked as Zambian clubs is the moment we qualify for the CAF Champions League or we play our preliminaries in the CAF Champions League, our league form tends to suffer, hence not making it to the next tournament. And without that continuity, it made us more of sitting rubber ducks in the Champions League, because then this season you'd have Power Dynamos, they would make it to, the second round of the preliminaries, and maybe they'll lose by a goal, and they'll have the fire to come back and do better next time. And
you are right, Mwamba, because Red Arrows, they were there in 2024.
Yes.
They missed out 2025.
Yes.
They are going back 2026.
Yes.
And probably they are going to start all over again learning.
Exactly, and that's a learning that we're trying to avoid. That's a learning that we're trying to kick out. But kudos to Patrice Motsepe. I do not know if you heard the announcement. Actually, it was made by a famous South African journalist called Molife. He works for SABC. CAF is considering expanding the African Champions League and the African Confed. So remember, it's the top 12 leagues that normally get 4 teams to qualify. So they're looking at having the top 6 leagues getting 6 teams to qualify. Then
it's actually the 12. Is it top 12?
Yes, top 12.
Yeah, they
have 4 teams. So 2 go to the Champions League and 2 go to the CAF Confed. So now CAF is considering, it's still in the planning phase, so things could change. It's not set in stone yet. They're considering the top 6 leagues having 3 teams in the Champions League and 3 teams in the Confed. Then 6th to 20th will now get 2 teams in the Champions League and 2 teams in the Confed. Seeing that Zambia sits at 15th, 16th, or at times we get to 14th, we are in a good place, because automatically we will be getting 2 teams in the Champions League and 2 teams in the Confed.
Interesting. I hope that works out, and yes. All the best, and all the best to Zambia. But we just have to work hard, man. But don't you think so?
Yes, definitely.
As opposed to waiting for the expansion, we got to qualify because they expanded the AFCON to 24 from 16, and they expanded the World Cup from 5 to 10. Ish. And now we are waiting for the expansion of the CAF Champions League.
Yes.
Anyway, we just have to work hard, really. That's my honest opinion, because right now, Power Dynamos are going there for the second time consecutively. They will do better, I think so.
No, definitely. So once Power Dynamos go there for the second time, and remember the first third in their group, and actually had the chance of qualifying to the quarterfinals on the last day of the table, if you remember. So it means Power Dynamos is heading in the right direction, and in them heading in the right direction, we need Red Arrows to also do something at the CAF Confed, because the more matches we win, we'll be in
the more points we get.
Yes, and we can kick out Nigeria from that 12th spot. And nevertheless, we should also be aspiring to be part of the top 6 leagues. Imagine having 3 teams qualifying for the CAF Champions League from Zambia. Incredible. Zesco, Red Arrows, Power Dynamos.
It's all about making the money, Mwamba. Even the champions, how do they call it? The Champions League, the other Champions League for Africa. Where are those?
Super League?
Yes, the Super League itself. We need to go there, because just qualifying to play there, it's a lot of money. It's a lot of investment.
Definitely. It's sad that it's been discontinued lately, because since Mamelodi Sundowns won it in 2021, is it 2022? 2021. Really CAF has failed to secure funds to fund that tournament.
It was very expensive.
It was a very expensive tournament, because remember, we had 20 teams. It was a league format, and with those 20 teams, you had to play each other at least twice. So it was like having a domestic league, but in Africa. And remember, in Africa, you even get flights that are like an 8-hour flight. So it was an expensive league, and CAF used to foot all the bills. The transportation, hotels, food, accommodation. Of course, the Moroccan teams, the South African teams, and the Egyptian teams would come in on their own food, but really other teams, the likes of Nyemba, had to depend on CAF.
All right, Mwamba, looking at time, I have to let you go, but you didn't predict who is winning the ABSA?
Of course, Power Dynamos are getting the double.
Abayero.
Usaka.
Apparently, the sponsor of the leagues, anyway, I don't want to give them free marketing. They should come and sponsor the show and market. Anyway, I was about to say it. I just realized that my boss is watching. He might bill me for that. But it's our hero, our Osaka.
But anyway, I think kudos to Power Dynamos. Icing on top of the cake should be winning the ABSA Cup. I like how the manager put it. He said, we are not going to race for the ABSA Cup. It's actually the tournament we are more interested in this season.
They haven't won it in a long time.
Yes, so
they should be interested.
They look very interested in it, and I've seen some funny videos. Those guys.
All the best.
Thank you.
All right, the weekend GP continues on the other side. Taurai joins me on set. We get to look at what is brought for you, the people that follow his music. Stay tuned.